Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about Lucille Exploration because the new version has been out for quite some time. Now before we continue on with the video, I want you guys to type in the comment section below, what do you guys feel about the new Lucille Exploration? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What do you like about it and what don't you like about it? Type all of your different opinions first before continuing on with the video because I don't want to affect your train of thought. With that being said, now it's time to talk about my opinion. I think Lucille Exploration is pretty good. I like the new one a lot more than the old one. The reason for this is really simple. It's because the bosses are different, so I gotta fight all these different bosses, which are pretty cool. Now, there are certain bosses that I still hate. For example, the Griffin. Today's Execule is okay. It's a little bit tanky and it's a little bit annoying to deal with sometimes, but hey, it's not too bad. And then I really like Masquerade. Having Masquerade in there is definitely super duper fun, except for the fact that he can cause panic. Sometimes he has that trait where he can cause panic. I really don't like the panic debuff because it messes up with your controls, which is pretty annoying. However, the variety of bosses existed in the original Lucille Exploration anyway, since that rotated every day. However, something that is different is how simple the new one is and how short and sweet the runs are. Instead of spending like 15 minutes running around clearing all these different rooms, it's really dependent on the group speed. We've gotten clears of under 5 minutes, and that's pretty satisfying, where you're just blasting through everything and you're just killing everything super duper fast. And then what my favorite part about the new Lucille Exploration is all of the different buffs. Being able to collect all the different buffs and that part being randomized makes every run different, which is very satisfying. As you guys can see in this screenshot, I actually managed to get 5 stars in one of my runs. Now, of course, this is out of like 100 or 200 runs. I've gotten one scenario where this happened, but it was absolutely hilarious that I had 5 of these stars. I had ability up after using Rest Assign. I had double PB plus attack speed up. I had additional attacks on critical hit. I had regular automatic additional attacks, and I also had additional attacks on successful sidestep. And I also had the Photon Blast potency up and normal attack potency up. It was ridiculous. This run was under 5 minutes. The boss spawned, I Photon Blast twice, it was dead. It was kind of hilarious. And this was one of my favorite runs actually, because it was just really silly, and we just went in and bullied the daylights out of the bosses, and I felt super duper overpowered. And it was those runs that kind of made Lucille Exploration like really fun to run over and over, because you're like, oh man, is this the run that I'm actually going to get all the really cool buffs? Now, of course, there were lows as well, such as this run over here, where it took us literally 10 minutes and 10 seconds to kill the boss, because we had 2 people who left in the middle of the run, so it was only 6 of us, and we were super under geared. This was playing with randoms, and I was also very stubborn, and I was using the bow instead of using my katana, and so yes, this run was incredibly slow. But nevertheless, I personally prefer the new Lucille Exploration over the old one, because it is just shorter and sweeter, and it's just, very action-packed. You just go from room to room to room, kill everything, you select your buffs, and you customize your build, and so every run is a little bit different. Now, in the future, I would like them to introduce something more similar to Divide Quest. So it's like, hey, you can go into these rooms and then there's like a choice, You can select your own path to the boss room. And what I would like to see later down the line is higher difficulty. So for example, let's say that there's a regular path that you can pick, which is exactly the same difficulty as the current version of Lucille Exploration, but introduce like a hard path, where all the bosses get different modifiers, they become stronger, but you also get more loot. So for people who want to take the hard path because they're really geared and they're like, hey man, I want to be more efficient with my time, I want more loot, I want harder content, more challenging content, they can select the hard path. And that would be something that would be really cool. So, basically at the end, after you select your buff, there's like 2 different rooms. You can go left or you can go right. And then based on majority vote, it will teleport the team to the next room, so forth and so on. I think that would be really cool, mainly because I missed Divide Quest from the base game quite a lot. That was an incredibly fun game mode, and I would definitely like to see that come back to NGS. Now, regarding the clear dim weapons and those EX augments, I want to build upon the idea that I just proposed about having like extra hard mode. Is like, oh, if you select the hard mode, you get a little bit more control on what loot you're aiming for. So, you know, let's say that, hey, I'm looking for the EX critical follow paired with the EX critical up. You know, maybe I want that. So, you know, if we go in the hard mode, you could increase your chances of getting that specific combination. And I think that would be a nice way to reward players to get stronger, to seek challenging content and try to complete it, because it just increases the chances of you getting what you actually want or what you're actually farming for. So that might be a bigger motivator to be like, yeah, I want to get stronger, I want to gear up so that I can complete all of these runs in a harder difficulty to increase my chances of getting, you know, the super rare loot or whatever the heck I want. Now, of course, there is the talk of the Legend Weapon series. Now, unfortunately, the Legend Weapon series has not dropped for me. I've done the new Lucille over 100, maybe 200 runs already, and I have not seen it drop. However, people around me have gotten it. I do know several people who have gotten the Legend Weapon series to drop. Now, in my personal opinion, I don't think the Legend Weapon series are good enough to warrant the upgrade. From your Celia weapon, it's only 5 attack damage higher, and then the weapon potential is kind of weird in the sense that, hey, yeah, you can't attack the enemy for several seconds in order to get that buff. So I do find that a little bit weird. But nevertheless, I know there are a ton of people who do like that supportive playstyle where it's like, yeah, I'm going to make my team stronger, and then together we beat up everything. So I do understand that some people do want it. But for me personally, I really don't care about it too much, other than the fact that, hey, the weapons look really cool, and of course they are the Legend Weapon series. However, if you are hunting for the Legend Weapon series, do not worry, because there are coming campaigns in the next 2 weeks that will increase the drop rate for those Legend Weapon series in urgent quests, actually. So when that campaign rolls around, I will definitely let you guys know. But I'm here to just let you know, if you are farming for the Legend series, you don't have to stress over it if you're not getting it to drop in Lucille Exploration, because again, we are getting that campaign in 2 weeks. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Lucille Exploration. Again, let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think?
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it interesting. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.